Okay, let me tell you what the explanation of that is.
On what basis are you going to tell me? Do you receive wahi?
No, I have a book though. It's called the Tafsir of Ibn Kathir. Have you heard of it?
Okay, but Ibn Kathir, who comes 700 years after your prophet, who's a student of Ibn Taymiyyah, was Ibn Kathir, did he have ilham and wahi? Was he inspired?
Was John and Matthew and Luke inspired?
According to your Quran, yes. Don't change the subject. Don't do the tap dance, because you're the.
I'm not changing the subject.
You're the only Muslim that would tell me Ibn Kathir is inspired. So wait, I want to hear you. Say to everyone.
So I can't ask any questions? Is that how this is going to
work?
Well,
no, hold on. You're changing the subject. You ran. I will let the Quran answer to you that John is inspired, because according to Surah Al-Ma'idah and Sirat Rasulullah, John wrote down the gospel that God gave to Jesus. In fact, you're going to agree with me. Your Quran says in chapter 7, verse 157, that your prophet is prophesied in the gospel that is with them. Where's that prophecy of your prophet in the gospel? What gospel prophesied your prophet?
What gospel prophesied my prophet?
Chapter 7.
Muhammad, you mean?
Chapter 7. I'm now going to change the subject with you because it got too hot for you to handle, because you're going to mop the floor with me. Chapter 7, verse 157. 7:157, it says, they will find in the Torah and the gospel with them a prophecy of the unlettered prophet, the prophet who's ummi, in the Torah and the gospel that's with them. Meaning at the time of Muhammad, the Christians had the gospel that had a prophecy of the unlettered, illiterate prophet. What gospel prophesied your prophet? Because you believe that's Muhammad, right?
Yes.
So what gospel did the Christians have at the time of Muhammad that had a prophecy of your prophet?
It's referring to the gospel that was given to Jesus.
But it says it was there at the time of your prophet with the Jews and Christians. That's what 7:157 says.
Yes.
Read it. So what gospel did they have at the time of Muhammad that had this prophecy of Muhammad?
I'm not sure.
So then why are you changing the subject if you can't answer the questions? I was talking about Tawheed, you went to John. So I'm going to answer you if you're not sure. So you want to stay on Tawheed now? You went to John, so I can't even show you what gospel that is because you're not sure.
Well, God, you tell me what gospel, what was it?
According to Sirat Rasulullah by Ibn Ishaq, it's the Gospel of John. Page 653 in the English translation by Alfred Guillaume. Alfred Guillaume translated Sirat Rasulullah by Ibn Ishaq in English, and in not page 653, pages 103 to 104. Pages 103 to 104, there Ibn Ishaq says that John wrote down the gospel that God gave to Jesus for the followers of the gospel, in which there's a description of your prophet. And there he quotes John chapter 15, verses 23 to 16, verse 1. And Ibn Ishaq says that's the gospel that God gave to Jesus. We can hear.
Okay, if we were to assume that that's the case, that it was the Gospel of John, how can you be so sure that it's the same Gospel of John that you have in your possession today?
Because we have. Okay, Al, you're going to have to mute yourself because I think it's from your end.
What's that?
I hear an echo on the phone. Either it's you or Al. One of you guys have an echo. So you got to mute your computer.
I am muted.
Okay, so then you got to, Isa, go to your, if you're on YouTube, mute the sound there. Now it's okay. We don't hear it. I know that because Ibn Ishaq quotes John 15, 23, 16 to 1, and it's identical to what I have today. And secondly, there are copies of John before the time of your prophet that are identical to what I have now. So when did the change take place?
I don't know. I don't know what they had back then versus what they have now.
So then let's keep it simple. Let's go to Tawheed.
What I do know, listen to me talk for a second.
Well, go ahead.
What I do know is that there were many Christians like Suhaib Rumi, like the Nietzsche of Ethiopia, who were Christian and they became Muslim.
And how do you know that?
Because it's in the biography of the Rasulullah. And
the one I just read for you that said that John wrote down the gospel of Jesus?
I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is there were Christians who became Muslims,
Okay, but
and there are Christians who came.
You're not hearing
against
yourself. So you
Christians
admit John's gospel is the gospel of Jesus then?
Like I said, the gospel refers to the gospel given to Jesus.
Okay,
Now,
but the biography that
I'm
you
not saying
quoted,
everything in John is
Isa,
not.
you're not listening. The gospel that I told you is the gospel of Jesus, John wrote, comes from the biography that you just appealed to prove that Christians became Muslims. The same Sirat Rasulullah that told you Christians became Muslims is the same Sirat Rasulullah that says John's gospel is the gospel that God gave to Jesus.
Okay, I'm not disputing that.
So you admit John's gospel is the gospel of Jesus?
But I'm not saying that it's 100% accurate, though.
Ibn Ishaq did not say it's not 100% accurate. Don't spin it.
He didn't say it was either.
No, he said it's the gospel that God gave to Jesus.
Okay, but that's what he said. But what I'm telling you is we don't know that that's 100% accurate because it's not even in the original language.
Because we have copies.
Is it in Hebrew?
There we go. We have copies of John before, during, and after Muhammad that are identical to what we read today.
Is it in Hebrew? That's my question.
Who said John wrote in Hebrew? Show me where it says he wrote in Hebrew.
Jesus spoke in Hebrew.
So wait, hold on. So what language does Jesus speak in your Quran?
Jesus spoke in Hebrew.
In your Quran, what language is he speaking?
I don't understand the question.
Doesn't your Quran quote Jesus and the disciples?
Yes.
What language does the Quran have them speaking?
Arabic.
But Jesus didn't speak Arabic.
But those are the words
Jesus
of Allah,
did
not
not
the words of
speak
Jesus.
Arabic.
I understand that, but those are the words of Allah telling us what
Stop
Jesus said.
begging the question. We don't believe Allah revealed any book because we don't believe Allah is God. You just destroyed your argument because you just said Jesus spoke Hebrew, therefore it should be in Hebrew. But when your Quran quotes Jesus in Arabic, a language he didn't speak, now it's okay because Allah revealed it.
If I'm telling a story, now my language is English, and someone else spoke a different language, I'm going to tell it in English.
So then change your argument. John is writing to Greeks in Greek.
Well,
So
I'm
change
saying
your
you
argument.
do not have the original gospel of Jesus that's in Hebrew. That's my point.
My friend, you don't need the original gospel of Jesus because Jesus didn't write down anything. He preached and lived the gospel, and his followers wrote it down. That's what Ibn Ishaq said. You want me to read Ibn Ishaq again?
Down either, but his companions wrote down what he said in Arabic.
Okay, but you're not listening. Isa, stop going in 1,000 directions. Refocus. Ibn Ishaq said John wrote down the gospel of Jesus, and what John wrote was in Greek, not Hebrew.
But what Bernie did, he mixed up authentic information with inauthentic. A lot of the unpleasant stuff he read was from Ibn Ishaq for some reason. And most of that information is inauthentic.
So there's a couple of the red herrings that came up today, and I'll pass those on to Adnan now. And this will keep you in sardines for the next few weeks. Yeah. Let's get to the real topics. The question, he said, use only authentic sources. And the one that he objected to was Ibn Ishaq. But actually, I'm not sure that he believes that, because I do have here a video clip of him talking about Ibn Ishaq to a Muslim audience some time ago. Have a listen to what he says.
Who is the main historian we refer to for the life of the Prophet ﷺ? Anyone? The biography of the Prophet, sorry? Yes, Ibn Hisham. But who wrote the book of Ibn Hisham? Ibn Hisham is an abridgment of an earlier work. Ibn Ishaq, Muhammad bin Ishaq, who was born in the year 80 Hijri and died in 150-51. Muhammad bin Ishaq. So we refer for the life of the Prophet ﷺ to make sense of it in a chronological way to this history.
So what I want to know is, what new information about Ibn Ishaq has come up in the last few years that means it is now inauthentic? Because I'm quoting it, Muslim scholars quote it, Tabari quotes it, lots of other people do, and so did Adnan a few years ago.
Net خادششم